Developed really well. If I hate the character because it makes no sense, that's much different. And I do understand, I 100% agree. And there's a character in this episode or in this series, The Rings of Power, that I hate so much. We'll talk about it in a minute. It's called Kemen, freaking Kemen and Eregion. I hate them so much. So anyway, guys, we're talking Rings of Power, episode 5. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, or if you don't care, stay here. If you want to watch it later, then go watch it and come back. We're going to be talking spoilers about it. We'll be quick. Um, no, excuse me. So Halls of Stone is this 5th episode. We're already past the halfway point. Only 3 episodes left. It's a bummer that we got those 3 episodes drop at the beginning of the season because it's gone so far. It's been 3 weeks. We already have only 3 episodes to go. I wish they would just do 1 episode drop so they can stretch the story so longer, because it feels like everything's been jam-packed, and it's because we only have 3 episodes so far, but it's been 5 hours of story, so it's really been developed. We just kind of feel a little bit rushed on it. But apart from, like I mentioned, I love everything with Galadriel, with Elrond, everything happening with the elves, and everything with the stranger. That's my favorite part. And my other part is Celebrimbor, Hellbrand, now Annatar. And this episode is full on Annatar manipulating Sauron, manipulating everyone masterfully. And I love those scenes. He's thanks, Greg. Thanks, love that you're here. Love that you love our show. So hopefully we'll catch you up next week when you come back, or next time. So thanks, Greg. Take care. So it starts with Celebrimbor giving this speech to the elves. We made these great rings for the dwarves. Everything's great. And Anatar's there kind of like, dude, yeah. Oh, did I speak too much? Did I say too much? And yeah, I told you to say less. Like, we're not there yet. I said, well, I should have. It's this old married couple about giving praise to one another, just keeping things quiet. So I love that relationship. And then the conversation, because Annatar mentioned last time, and he mentioned he's really pushing this and this rings for men. We need to make rings for men because they're the ones that are really suffering. If we leave Middle Earth, or we only help the elves and the dwarves, the men are the ones that are going to suffer. I've been to Númenor. I know how great they can be, but there's also dissident, and there's things happening there that we need to help. And Celebrim was like, a lot of the problems that the humans have, it's brought on by their own. This is their fault. They're too corruptible. We really can't give them this power. And I understand, but we'll pick the best. We'll pick the best out there. You're right. We'll pick the best. We'll pick 9. And 9 kingdoms out there, and we'll treat them, we'll tell them how. And I love how he goes through all the names of the great men from the past, and all these names are from the Silmarillion. He mentions Beren, one of the greatest out there. And then Celebrim's like, dude, sorry, we can't. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, you're right. I'll do it myself. I'm like, ha, ha, ha. There he goes. And he starts working on them by himself. Again, manipulating everyone. They create by mistake this invisible ring that Myrdania wears, and she's just going crazy, doesn't know what's happening. Then she visits and starts when Celebrimbor takes the ring off, about visiting this unseen world, this underworld, and the shadow covered in flames, and everyone is dying. Similar to a vision that King Gil-galad had when he pressed on that ring and he sees all the death, and he sees Sauron there, the armor, again visiting this unseen world, which is it's Sauron. And she says, "Oh, this power, this darkness is here. It's been here all along." She's talking about Sauron. He turns that to blame Celebrimbor on her eyes, to start again this manipulation, this descent from the elves, to maybe keep away from what Celebrimbor is saying and follow him more, because Celebrimbor is under too much pressure and we need to help him at the end. But he started sowing those seeds, and then when he's talking to her later and brings on Galadriel, oh, the way the light from the sun, whatever, shines on your hair, you just resemble Lady Galadriel. And she's like, oh, Lady Galadriel. So that was great. And when Celebrimbor was, oh, what did you did wrong? Why is this ring not working? Were you really as masterful, as perfect as you were before? That's when you're talking about the the Dwarven rings. But again, it's Annatar manipulating. He knows that he's not there, and he's Celebrimbor, and they say, "Oh, at least give us that one word of, just one word of counsel that you can just tell us one thing." And he's right about to do it when he gets interrupted, but he knows he's got him. He's got him the hook. It's that way. Even though I love Halbrand, I miss Halbrand, but I love that we're saying this version of Sauron, Annatar, the Lord of Gifts, but just being the great manipulator that Sauron always is. And if he even tells Celebrimbor, you might be great at crafting rings, or as a master crafter, you're not seeing where people are manipulating elements, you're not seeing where people are manipulating you. Talk about the dwarves and all that stuff. And it's him doing it. So it's kind of throwing what he's doing in their face and then just playing it backwards. So I love seeing all that. Oh, and before that, we get a shout out to the Lord of the Rings with the doors of Durin. Of course, speak, friend, and enter. We see the doors there, how they work. So a little call back or call forward, if you want, an Easter egg out there. And when they talk about there's trouble in the kingdom, I mean, trouble in the mines, trouble in the mountains. King Durin is corrupted by the ring already, using it to find where to dig, telling people they need to pay ring tribute. If he's going to give the other 6 rings to the other dwarven lords, they need to give in half of their profits. So this ring has really corrupted him, the way he reacts to Durin, the way he reacts to the dwarf master that makes all the what are the dwarf? I forgot, not Nori, Cory. I forgot the name of the other dwarf. And that scene when he's like notices that he doesn't have the ring and starts going crazy, almost like Bilbo in the real movies. Like, where's my ring? Well, you took it. No, sir, you took it off. It's right there. You say it was heavy on your hand. Oh yeah. You're right. But it's already messing up with his mind. But then Durin goes to Celebrimbor to say what's happening, that the rings are corrupting his father. There's something wrong with them. He said, no, they're perfect. We did them the same way. And Durin's like, okay, but it's the guy that did it the same. He did something different, talking about Annatar. And that's when Celebrimbor confronts Annatar. Hey, did you do something to the rings to make it different? He's like, no, I didn't. We did. Like that letter that I made you send. He doesn't say that, but he made Celebrimbor send a letter to Gil-galad because he lied to him, saying that they were going to shut down the forge, don't do anything else, so we got to do it our own. You lied on your letter to Gil-galad saying that you have finished, they weren't doing anything else, so we put that lie into it, we corrupted it, or so that's then bringing that problem to the ring, so we need to fix it. And the only way to fix the problem that we did for the Dwarven rings is by making these 9 rings for men, perfection of the 3, and then somehow fix the corruption of the 7, which is a great theme of it. It's something great to think about. We're going to use these 9 rings, do what worked with those 3 before, the perfection of the Elven rings, and then use these 9 rings to fix or to balance what went wrong with the 7 Dwarven rings, which is a great kind of thing to put out there, a great notion. So I just love that. I love what's going on there in Eregion. Everything's going to Eregion. We know the orcs, are going to Eregion. So a lot of the action right now has been happening in that Elven place. So can't wait to see what's going to happen there in the next 3 episodes. I think next episode is going to be a big one. Same with the mountains. Disa was rock chanting out there when she lost one of her singing stone or tuning stone that she had just bought for 150 credits. And there's a creature, an ancient creature calling back, basically, which we expect is going to be the Balrog. We saw the Balrog in season 1. We've seen the Balrogs in the trailer, or the Balrog in the trailer for season 2. So it's going to show up again. I don't think it will be similar to season 1. It'll be a quick scene. I don't think that the Balrog is coming in to knock down the mine. So I think it'll just be there for 1 or 2 scenes. Nothing big, but I just want to see him because it's one of my favorite creatures in Middle Earth. Númenor crumbles, man. Freaking Númenor. Dude, forget about Sauron. Forget about the orcs or the Balrogs. Forget about Adar, the biggest villain, the biggest haters in Middle Earth, the worst couple ever. Kemen and Eregion, man, they are the worst, and I'll go through them in a minute. But man, I hate it. I really hate it. I didn't like them in season one, especially Kemen. Season two so far, it's like, ah man, get these guys out of here. So to what Greg's point was about characters that you love to hate. These are them, but I don't love to hate them. I just hate them. And not because they're bad characters, badly written. They're just characters that I hate because of their actions. But I love Farah's son. I love Farah's in season one. I love the politics in Númenor and the politics in Rings of Power. We're used to in kind of fantasy world talking more politics in House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, where you have all these different houses sort of vying for power and all the chess pieces. This is just one little kingdom, one family basically just fighting over that one power. And because they're cousins, they're Miriel, King Miriel, and Farah's are cousins. So we know what happened last week or 2 weeks ago. The eagle comes out, and then whatever his name is starts chanting Farah's on, Farah's son, and that kind of builds up and builds up, and he gets power. So now's the king, but that's not enough for him. This is the only thing I'll give Kemen when he comes in. I thought you have the scepter, that's what you always wanted, and Farah's like, yeah, I thought that's what I always wanted, but look across the Eregion, you see the white tower that leads to the Undying Lands. They're mocking us. The elves out there mocking us because they're gonna live forever while we wither out and die. So he wants more. He wants to go out there and do something against the elves. But then sends this he's a worst parent ever. Sending Kemen say, hey, your mother told me this story or this vision that you're gonna be the end of me, or you're gonna do something that's gonna cause a lot of trouble. I can't remember exactly, but basically saying you gotta do this for me, or you're gonna be the end of me. I'm gonna disown you, basically. So you gotta do something for me. Then we find out first start stripping people of ranks, and this is where I started hating Kemen and Eregion. When Elendil, which my captain, my captain is walking through Númenor, sees Valandil and everyone else in line having to give up their Sea Guard uniforms and their weapons. Oh, why do I? Oh, the new king doesn't. It's if you're loyal to Arian, to Miriel, you're not part of the Sea Guard anymore. Oh, whose authority? And then the camera changes. The two of them just came in and Ariel, just standing there, smug face. I just want to slap both of them. But we had a great scene right before between Elendil and Miriel when Miriel is telling him, this is part of the new, you didn't, when you touched the Palantir, you didn't see Númenor falling, Númenor breaking away. That's what I saw. Maybe this is foreseen, this is going to change that path. So you need to be the calm in the storm side. Don't let them goad you into fighting. Don't just hold back. You need to be strong for us. So Númenor doesn't fall. But they keep pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. But they go to get that great power and say, oh, thank you, Captain. Oh, he's not your captain anymore. And he gives up his sword. But then Valandil steps up. We say Captain of Deck. Captain Living Deck. That was a great great thing to say there, to acknowledge everything that Elendil has done for them. Everyone else comes, my captain. He feels that love for them. But it goes to that part later on where they're just saying their prayers and their memory, and everyone just putting the little boats with the candle flame just going out to the sea, to the river. And freaking Kemen comes in with the guards to just break everything apart. This is the land of the faithful. I know that's faithful to the old ways, to the elves, and then just start chaos. Breaks that poor guy's statue. Is gonna help, I believe, his wife be able to get to the other world. Breaks it, and then the fight starts. And Elendil slaps the crap out of him. Valando stops him, stops Kemen, which Kemen's gonna punch him out. And then freaking Kemen almost drowns Valando. Like, Kemen can't drown Valando. Well, it was too strong for him. But at that point, I was scared. It was shot beautifully, or beautiful is not the way to say it. It was very emotionally distraught that part. Push him off. Has his sword to his neck, like Valando has his sword to Kemen's neck. When Elendil says, "Put it down, son," I thought it was gonna go to, "You're not my captain anymore," or something like that, and then kill him. But "Yes, my captain," throws the sword down, starts walking away. And then the freaking sword comes out from his back or through his chest. Freaking Kemen backstabs him, like literally backstabs him. And he became the most hated. Littlefinger, all those guys, I hate him. He's one of the worst. So I don't know what to do with that guy anymore. Sorry. So yeah, Valando's death was a gut punch. I was not expecting it. He's a character that's grown on me since season 1. That back and forth he had with Isildur in season 1, where he had to fight every single day to be chosen for the Sea Guard, and Isildur got everything handed to him, but he didn't want it anyway. To how they reconcile later on in season 1, both of them go to Middle Earth, fighting that war. He leaves believing that Isildur is dead, to now having been killed by freaking Kemen, standing up or standing next side by side with Isildur's father, with Elendil, who just called him son. He has that relationship. Also, Elendil thinks his son is dead. His other son, we don't even know where he is. His daughter is a traitor in his eyes, so he has no one. It's the only connection he has, and gets killed in front of him. Freaking Kemen watches his bloody sword on the water where the faithful are praying and worshiping, and then blames them. Oh, tell them that they started the riot. It's like, freaking Jesus, Kemen, I hate you so much. So everything's going to a head in Númenor. Can't wait to see where that ends. And then finally, I love Elrond just running when Gil-galad is talking with the other elves, trying to figure out what to do. Are they sending help to Eregion? Are they sending their army to Mordor to fight Sauron? They don't know where they are. Elrond is just sprinting like a crazy elf, and finally gets there. Say, "Hey, we saw them. The orcs are heading to Eregion. There's our elven land right now here in Middle Earth. We need to save them. We gotta go over there." He's like, we can't beat both Adar and Sauron alone." And it kind of ends there. And we see orcs right outside Eregion. Galadriel and Adar have a conversation that Adar's like, "You're not here as my prisoner. We're here. I need you to help me fight a common enemy." So even though, like Oti mentioned, it's taking a little bit to get there. Maybe not everyone is connected with the story. Maybe it took too long. We'll see. Like these next 3 episodes where everything's going to finally come to a head. I think everyone it's where they're supposed to be. Annatar, Celebrimbor are working on the 9 rings. We know the dwarves are going to be involved with what's going there, with what's happening with King Durin, with Gil-galad saying that they can't beat the orcs and Adar and Sauron alone. We know that Elrond is gonna go find Prince Durin to have the dwarves help the elves in this battle. We know Galadriel is there, so all the big players are there. The only thing is Númenor is different. I thought we'll see if Númenor is not sending anyone to Middle Earth. I don't know if Elendil and maybe Miro kind of escape the fall of Númenor and head to Middle Earth and hopefully find Isildur. That's the only thing we'll see. We know how or when Isildur and Arondir reach Eregion to fight in that part of the battle. This is probably going to be 2 episodes from now. Then the other big question is the stranger with Tom Bombadil, and of course Nori with the Stoors. That's the only thing that's kind of away from this, and they've always been away from that main part of that big battle. Same thing was with season 1. Even though we had Tom Bombadil and the stranger, wink wink, Gandalf, talk about, oh, do I need to fight the Dark Wizard and Sauron? You need to fight both. So we'll see how that happens on that end. A lot of next episode will most likely be that part. But I think the battle at Eregion is starting next week, and we've heard from all the creators and the showrunners that this big battle is gonna last for a couple episodes. It wouldn't surprise me if midway to last kind of third of next week episode, the battle starts at Eregion and it goes for the next 2 episodes after that. All right, so I really enjoyed the show. I think season 1 so far, I connected with it quicker, but I think now all the pieces are set for the remainder of the series. Only 3 episodes left. So sad it's gonna end so quickly or so soon, but we're almost there. All right, so that brings an end to our talk on the Rings of Power.